It's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Nothing's plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. I'm a flying girl in the fantasy world. Lift me up, make it time. I'm your darling.
You're my doll, rock and roll. Feel the glamour and pink. Kiss me here, touch me there, hanky panky.
You can touch, you can play. If you say I'm always yours. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Nothing's plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Make me walk, make me talk, do whatever you please. I can act like a star, I can beg on my knees.
Come jump in, bimbo friend, let us do it again. Hit the town, fool around, let's go party.
You can touch, you can play. If you say I'm always yours. You can touch, you can play. If you say I'm always yours.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party. Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Yeah.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
I'm a Barbie girl in the
Giving you everything, all that joy can bring. This I swear. Last time that we had this conversation, I decided we should be friends. Hey, but now we're going round in circles. Tell me, will this deja vu never end? Oh, and now you tell me that you're falling in love. Well, I never ever thought that would be. Hey, this time you gotta take it easy, throwing far too much emotions at me. But any fool who see that falling, I gotta make you understand. I'm giving you everything, all that joy can bring. This I swear, I'll give you everything. And all that I want from you is a promise you will be there. Say we'll be there. I'll say you will be there. I want you sing it with me. If you put two and two.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? I don't know, you're not there. I give you my love, but you don't care. So what is right? What is wrong? Give me a sign. What is wrong? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? Baby, don't
me that gentle loving stare. Finally, you come along. The way I feel about you, it just can't be wrong. If you only knew the way I feel about you, I just can't describe it. Oh, no, finally it's happened to me.
What up? What up? What up?
Back to life, back to reality, back to life, back to reality, back to life, back to reality, back to the here and now, yeah. Show me how, decide what you want from me. Tell me maybe I could be there for you. However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? Back to life, back to the present time, back from a fantasy, yes. Tell me now, take the initiative, I'll leave it in your hands until you're ready. However do you want me?
You stay awake half the night. Love is just what if it changes? Tell me why, tell me why, tell me why. It must be love that's on your mind. You doing things you wouldn't before. You wanna know that
Love will make you so happy inside.
inside
Ha,
I can't control it, but it just takes me over.
Love will make
Make
you
you
so
so sad.
make you cry.
Y'all know I love this song, right? This is my song. You had to be able to sing. Wasn't no machine, wasn't none of that shit. It was all studio. Wasn't no damn auto tunes. Your ass had to know how to sing in the 80s.
You grabbed my way, I lost all control. Anxiety had taken hold. My body quivered, hot flashes ignited in me. Gazing deep into my eyes, you spoke these words. I was
All right. I was about to let that ride. What's up, man? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing, man? I'm tired, man. My back hurt. I done walked like 9,200 steps. Got up early. I said I'm taking this fitness thing serious. And I just was like, I'm gonna give it my all, man. So but really trying to hit the stage this year, man. And so I was like, well, let me see if I can get my 10,000 in early. Never done that before. Never walked 9,000 straight like that. Just straight. It ain't take me about an hour though. I was walking slow, comfortable, listening to music, listening to videos. I didn't even count the amount of times I walk around the block, go up to the other corner. I'm in the same little called like area, so it's quiet. It's not that many cars coming, and I can just get it in real easy. Come back, go, come back. Then it's a nice little hill on the other side. So you get to the hill, you climbing up. So that's another 50 some odd flights of stairs technically that it's saying out and climb today. So I'm feeling energized, man. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing like getting up in the morning and getting a good workout, exercise in. You feel good, you feel energized. Your mind, your synapses, the synaptic cleft between your axiom cells that are known as your brain cells, that is your nervous system, is faster when you exercise in the morning. I remember got up one morning, ran a bunch of laps. I did some suicides, did some drills. Man, it was 8 or 6:30, 7 o'clock. I came home, took a bath, went to work. And I remember I got to work and I remember at 10 o'clock, like, wow, I'm fast. Like everything in my mind was just quick. Like I don't know what it was about exercising in the morning on an empty stomach. You know, I'm real big on that. And I'm seriously, I'm gonna give it all I got. I'm gonna try to be the best shape I can get in this year. So I ain't playing this year, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to by August be able to get on this stage. I don't know. Diet is a big thing. I went, what did I do? I did I did yesterday I did breakfast. But breakfast wasn't that bad. You know, grits. You know, I'm a country boy, you know, grits, did a little bacon. I know the pork, couple of eggs, and like a corner of a waffle. Like I ain't even eat the whole waffle. It was terrible. So that waffle was nasty, wasn't it? So you know, I ate like a corner. I hate them cornbread tasting waffles. Like you gonna make a waffle, damn it. Give me a waffle. Like it needs to be smooth. I don't want them granular waffles. You eat it and it tastes like you eating cornbread or something. I hate them type of waffles. I want a smooth waffle. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the super chat. Thank you, sister. I appreciate it. But let me get to it, man. So this video, the reason I did this video, and I didn't want to come over here and I see a million Kevin Samuels videos and everybody kind of down right now. So I don't even want to talk about that because, yeah, I just don't, man. I don't want to talk about it. Obviously, the women that are dragging the man, it's sad to see women drag this man just because you disagree with his dating. But I remember when Sun Saray did her little death hoax, brothers in this space on a smaller scale, obviously, because she's not as big as Kevin Samuels. On a smaller scale, I remember making the content and brothers was in the comments going at me because I was like, man, why y'all celebrating this girl dying, man? If she dead, why y'all celebrating it? Like, why would that even be something to celebrate a girl's death? Like, I feel the same way about a woman dying as much as a man. People love people, like family, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I remember when they hung Saddam Hussein. I was out the country. And I remember I got back and I listened to Sean Hannity. And Sean Hannity was, I hope he burns in hell. And I was like, wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute. I don't even go that far. Even though Saddam Hussein was sadistic, we know how sick he was, you know. So I try not to dwell on that because it makes me angry. There's some weird stuff going on with the way he died, just in my own opinion about the girl they saying that he's around. I don't know. I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm sure these guys are going to get to the bottom of it. The information is being disseminated now. We'll all find out eventually what happened because something about that. It was either that shot that they mandated, y'all know what I'm talking about, or something happened. Something just doesn't sit right with the way it went down. Something like that seemed a bit premature. There's a lot of people going out from cardiac arrest, interestingly enough, and they mandated this jab. Sometimes, guys, being I ain't gonna call people everybody that got a shot a sheep, but sometimes following without questioning can lead you right off the cliff. You know what I'm saying? It just can. So let's get to it. So I saw this, man. I thought this was interesting because this woman in this video, I always, and the reason I thought about this, I thought about when I was on there with Kevin Samuels and me and Obsidian, that video that everybody went and sampled and said that, you know, all three of us were dragging black women. And, you know, I'm like, you know, the video where I said I was thinking about responding to, where when Kevin Samuels blew, a lot of people came to my channel and took that little snippet of the video that I put up, didn't even watch my own content, and said that was those guys just show you, listen to what Kevin said about black women being masculine and all that, right? But I never forget we were going at it, and I disagree with Kevin because he was like, a woman is, if she's a 6, she's a 6. It doesn't matter. right? Now, if this woman, let's look at this woman. I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna let this play. I want y'all to look at this woman and tell me I would rate her at about a 5 or 6 with all the weight on her. And then we're gonna watch this whole clip. All right. Now check this out.
When the pandemic hit, Shakima Johnson was just 8 months into her fitness journey. But by then, the Atlanta 32-year-old was in a groove and there was no turning back. For almost 3 years, Johnson has been pushing herself to get as healthy and as strong as she possibly can be.
You can see right here in this picture, this ain't the same woman. Like, this is just not. This is the same woman, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
The Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin is here to talk about what inspired her and what keeps her motivated. Beth, first of all, her transformation is amazing.
It is really amazing, and it's inspiring too, Christine. You know, she really set out as a single mom with a full-time job. Now she has a personal training business, and she found a way to tackle the biggest challenge of her life and talk to us about how she did it. When it comes to our bodies,
It's yours. You only get one.
Shamika Johnson has fallen in love with what hers can do.
I feel great. It's really cool to see what my body is able to accomplish.
And to understand what this 32-year-old Amazon PR manager has been able to accomplish, you need to see the pictures. Shamika's transformation.
Now that's the before. Is that the same woman? Is that the same? You telling me she's the exact same as far as beauty and everything that she is after? And I'm not trying to, obviously, I definitely ain't taking a jab at Kevin. What I'm saying is, guys, we, especially as black men, you gotta allow it. Look, man, there's room to improve. I just made a comment under this guy, Matt B. Great's video this morning, because Matt B. Great was talking about the USFL, right? And he was talking about how the USFL players they're not that good. If they were, they'd be in the NFL. Let me explain something to you about life and circumstances. Life and circumstances will make it that you'll be on the bench and you'll be better than the guy that's in front of you. It's happened. It happens. I know people don't believe that, but it happens. I'm the only, out of everybody on my college team, I'm the only one that probably played at a 4-year university. One of them went to a JUCO, the other ain't nobody else play on my high school team. I'm the only one. Well, guess what? In high school, they joked and said, "Oh, your career is over." Well, come to find out, I went further than all those guys. On my high school team, I'm the only one that went overseas and played in overseas. This is through hard work and never giving up. And never listening to people tell you that this is where you are. This is your lot in life. This is what you have to be. You have to be this. You have to be that. Accept being mediocre. Nothing about me says mediocrity. I hate accepting mediocrity. And I'm going to tell you what a lot of sisters do. What a lot of sisters do is they accept mediocrity in their health. They accept that I'm thick and this is how I'm supposed to be. I'm big boned. Remember that in the 90s? Big boned. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse. You should not accept being second if you can be first. That's just my personal take on it. But let's keep going.
Began in the summer of 2019 with a scale at 326 pounds.
I took my son David on a trip to Disney World, and I noticed how tired I was just walking around the park. And it got me to thinking that maybe I needed to remove this barrier from our lives, which was my weight.
But first, Shamika says she needed to find her motivation to stay on track.
You can't stop. You can do it.
And not just for David, who was 5.
Just because you're tired doesn't mean you're going to quit.
But then also just really starting to fall in love with the person that I saw in the mirror again, getting to know her a little bit better and the things that drives her.
Shamika settled on 2 goals: make better food choices and exercise every day. And at first,
I'll be honest, I was working out really, really hard, but I was still really enjoying the foods that I like. right. It wasn't until I began to really change my nutrition and lean into what I was putting in my body. I call it body fuel in my book, what fuels I was putting into my body, that things really started to shift.
She started with water.
I replaced all the drinks, juices, and sugary drinks with water. I was still eating what I wanted, but I was only drinking water. And then slowly started replacing like fried food with baked or grilled and making smarter nutrition choices along the way. That sped things up tremendously.
And she focused on 5 pounds at a time.
When I got on the scale and I started seeing that first 5, 10, and 15 pounds come off, that's when I got excited. I got motivated.
Running was another challenge.
I wasn't able to, jog for more than about 60 seconds without stopping, panting, out of breath. Taking morning runs through.
Look at her back, man. Look at her back. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm just saying, she went, where's the flap? Did she have to get surgery to get the skin? She was 326 pounds. Clearly, she ain't getting no surgery. You can look at it and tell. You know what I'm saying? Your body will eat all that dead skin for fuel, man. You just gotta burn it. Just gotta burn it.
Through the neighborhood really helped me kind of get over that hurdle.
And she realized she had to stop fixating on the scale.
I would jump up every morning just.
Look, you say, I honestly believe some black women were told to accept being overweight from friends and family who are scared they will have access to a better life and marriage. I've seen it. Exactly. But let me say something about that. For women, it's not about, it's like with us as men, we got to produce. It's real simple. Your ass got to produce as a man. You got to be a producer. For a woman, it's about aesthetics, beauty, your body, specifically your body. Like really, women, a lot of brothers though. I remember I was on the podcast with Obsidian and Kevin, and I remember saying this and getting, they disagreed. Look, man, if a woman from the neck down is perfect body wise, and then from the face up she all right, she gonna be all right in the dating scene. She gonna be able to get off. It's not gonna be this situation where she's gonna struggle to get a man. And all women have to do is just get in shape. You don't have to get ass surgery. I'm not against that, but what I'm saying is you don't have to get that. You don't have to. Yeah, brothers nowadays, actually, a lot of brothers like that natural look because these women just got these deformed looking asses and shit. It just don't look right. I'm not against the ass thing, but if you're gonna get it done professionally, get it done where it looks natural. But some of these sisters that went out their damn minds. You want a damn 60-inch ass with a damn with 5-inch legs and shit. Just looks silly. Just look like damn Miss Potato Head or something. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going.
To see if the workout the day before worked, and I just didn't want to become a prisoner to the scale, so I began to track my measurements in other ways. How do I feel today? What's my
that scale will fool you, man? I got one. That scale, you step on there and your shit won't drop. Ever since I've been taking the protein, I went up. So my body was probably malnourished with protein. I was not getting the protein that I needed to build the muscle. I should have been stronger. I should have been bigger and didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? I did not know it.
endurance like after this workout? I have control over how I look. I have control over how I feel.
When she dropped the first 100 pounds,
I decided to write a book about my fitness journey for no other reason than to document what just happened to me. I felt like this was something different.
Look at this sister. Look at her abs. Women, I don't want to look like no man. Does she look like a man? No. She doesn't look like a man, does she? She went from this to this. Now, I'm telling you guys, and this is where I think, guys, they'll look at the woman on the left and be like, nah, man, she the homie, or that's the type of girl. Some dudes would date the girl on the left. Some dudes would be with her, but they won't really be attracted to her. They're just, we just with each other, But the one on the right, same woman, different diet. And actually, guys, I'm gonna tell you one of the most beautiful things about exercising. It forces you to become a stronger individual on the inside. It's your spirit, because when you get to the end and you can't go, you building your mind, man. I heard a bodybuilder, I think it was Kai Green. That's one of my favorite bodybuilders is Kai Green. And Kai Green was talking and he was like, You know, when you get your mind to its limit, when you get your body to its limits, the only thing that you're gonna have to push through is your mind. To make your body do what your mind, to make your body do what your mind wants, you have to be able to fight. She didn't go from looking like that on the left to looking like she does on the right, just walking, just not being hurt, not in pain. That takes pain, it takes discipline, it takes not doing what you want to do, and it's focus. It becomes focus. It's an addiction. You know what I'm saying? Not in a bad way, though. Not like unhealthy, but for some people it is unhealthy. But you can be healthy. Like me, I believe in not denying yourself. Like if you want a piece of cake, go get you a piece of cake. Like don't just not eat nothing for years. You're gonna binge. I binge. If I go years, or not even, if I go 2 weeks eating nothing but protein and shakes and just fruit, man, I'm gonna go one weekend. I'm finna get me a steak or something. Shoot, I'm finna get me a you know what I'm saying? Man, I'm finna get me a hamburger, man. I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? My thing is, look at your calories, look at your macros, track it, see if it fits, and eat it. Why? You can eat cheesecake. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of carbs that day, but as long as you under your deficit, or where your macros within, what did the guy told me, you need to be within 5% of your macros, right? Of 5% within either up or down of what you're supposed to be. You need to be around 5% every day. That's what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so quick to just say. And my thing is, guys, and this is where I kind of feel like a lot of sisters are really lacking. A lot of sisters could look like this girl on the right. It's the same girl. A lot of sisters look like the one on the left. If you look at her, you'll be like, okay, she all right. She all right. She ain't ugly. She never was ugly. But you'll look at it and be like, no, nah. Now this girl here, you catch her ass out with a dress or something, like, God dang, boy, that's a good looking woman. Same chick. What was the difference? Diet, exercise, you know what I'm saying? Eating, doing what you're supposed to do. Doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, even though she's done this, she's the type that now is trying to encourage other people. She said, I'm gonna just become a trainer. Right? That's right. It says when you don't eat 3 to 4 meals a day, you feel it. Exactly. I fast just about every day. Like, I never eat breakfast. I ate breakfast yesterday, but I ate it at like 2:00. I went to this restaurant and got it. That's what we got. Took my lady and my boy. We went up there and got something, you know what I'm saying? But you know, we fast just about every day. And I still, guess what? Because I bought all these proteins in Amazon, I buy proteins. I got a canned drink that got 50 grams of protein for each one. And it tastes like chocolate milk. So I drank one of them. I drank one of those Core Powers. That's 92 grams right there. I can do that in like a matter of like 10 minutes. I can take all that down, drink some water, drink me a lot of water, make sure my kidney's good. And then guess what? I can eat a regular meal. I'm at 150, 160. And I ain't really struggling to get north of if you then I got a protein bar. I got, man, let me tell you something. That Pure Protein bar is the best, most delicious bar you can get. Man, that junk is delicious. That caramel, man, it's sweet, but it's got low macro. It fits perfectly in your macros. It's 190 grams, 200 calories, and it's delicious. It tastes better than the Snickers bar. I shit you not. You find the right protein bar, I can easily eat 4 or 5 of them jokers and be feeling full. Drink me a couple of protein shakes. I ain't got to eat nothing for the day. I'm talking about that's how I can go. I can go a whole day, drink 2 or 3 of them shakes. I mean, not the shakes, but the protein drinks I got in my fridge. Eat probably about 4. I ain't gonna gotta eat 4 or 5. I can eat maybe 3. I can eat 1, drink a drink, right? That'll be about 65, 70 right there. Do it again around at like 2:00. Man, I pretty much can go the rest of the day. I ain't really hungry. Guess what? I'm more than knocked out my macros for that day. You know what I'm saying? I save money because I might spend $8, $9 for all the stuff I just said. Probably, actually, I ain't gonna say that. I forgot how much I paid for that protein. Pure. You can get a lot of stuff off Amazon, but the pure protein shake thing. Let me shoot. I'll go ahead and show y'all what the hell. Right. I'm gonna show y'all what I get. Because that's really half the battle, man. If you find a good, I'm talking about one that tastes good. I ain't talking about no trash now. Because if you get the wrong one, let me show you. Now, if you get the wrong one, you in for a world of hurt. I'm gonna tell you that now. Which one I got? This one. Oh man, this is delicious. This is delicious, man. Let me go right here. Click on it. So when you look at it, as you can see, you get 19 grams. And you got a lot of vitamins and stuff in it, but it's not really that much. What are the carbs at? Carbs. I don't really see the carbs. Cholesterol. Oh, 20 right there in my face. So that's pretty low. 20 grams, that's not bad. Per day, I can go up to like 240. So think about that. That means I would have to eat a lot of these, and I'm not going to do that. So I can eat this. I'm getting 200 calories. Now, I can go up to like 2,200 calories in a day. You know what I'm saying? And won't be and still be okay. Man, I'd be at like 1,800, 1,700, and I'm full for the day. I'm good. And I ate good. And I'm talking about I might go, look, I'll eat like this, right? The beautiful thing about this, you can get your macros, and one meal out the day, if you want to get you a small pizza and get you 2 slices out of there, you can do that. 2 or 3 slices and drink some water. You're not really denying yourself. That's the problem with people maintaining and staying with this stuff, because a lot of times you can't stay with it because it's so difficult. Well, I like protein isolate. I see your question, Mr. Hayward. He said, so how you feel about just taking isolate protein? The one I use has 24 grams of protein. Cool. I like it, but I don't like it. The reason I rather buy mine pre-mixed because it just tastes better. I hate dropping water in it. It just tastes different. And then it tastes medicine-y. And then you got some that taste good, but you got to add milk. And I'm like, man, if I do all that, I might as well just buy me a pack, man. Get me a pack. You can get them at the gas station. Core Power. Let me show y'all. So this is the one I get. This is the best tasting. This tastes better than the Snickers bar. I'm telling you right now. This is delicious. This tastes good. No aftertaste. This is the best tasting protein bar I'd never seen. This one right here, chocolate salted caramel, delicious. I'm telling you right now, right? But let me show you this other one. Oops, sorry about that. And I'm gonna go back to the sister video in a minute. We're gonna finish it, but I just wanted to kind of come on here and talk. Man, this is the best way, man. This tastes like regular chocolate milk right here. Now I don't even buy these. I don't buy these because this was a little bit thinner. But it still tastes good. It tastes like chocolate milk, right? But if I'm going to drink one, I might as well get 42 grams instead of 26. So I bought a 42 gram. That's what I buy these. Right? And this is what I drink. Now, you can get a subscription and get them for like $39 for a dozen. But me, I get this. Now, could I go buy a thing of protein and just drink it with water and be good with that? Yeah, you could. So I'm just saying, but if I'm at a gas station or anywhere, you can catch this anywhere. This will be at any gas station. You know, you can be in the gas station minding your business, and then there you go. You see it. So if you want, so I started drinking this. I was like, man, it's pretty good. I bought one at the gas station. I said, man, this ain't bad. Tastes pretty smooth. I like this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Lord, here we go. I'm getting attacked. The title is misleading and disingenuous. If black women have no reason to be overweight, neither does the rest of America. 70% of American adults are overweight. America eats too much, and that's the facts. Well, sister, I actually agree with you that America is overweight. We're the most overweight country in the world. However, if we were to take it and split it into demographics, black women are the most overweight demographic in the whole country. We're talking about to the tune of 80-some-odd%, which leads to diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease. These are things that black women suffer from more than men. We have higher testosterone levels, and so we have more muscle, which thereby we can eat the exact same shit you do, and we won't gain as much weight. Because we have more muscle. You're a woman, you have lower testosterone, and so when you eat food, you're going to gain more weight. That's all I'm saying. right? Black people need to worry about ourselves and stop comparing ourselves to others. It makes our issues go away. Intermittent fasting is key. It is, man. I've been practicing it for 3 years now and have maintained my weight. It fluctuated from 194 to 200, 18 to 24-hour increments. It requires discipline. Exactly. I do OMAD too. I've done OMAD meals, 1 meal a day. Facts and stats have always stated poverty and stress correlate with being overweight. When black men create an environment, oh Lord. So it's black men's fault that you're overweight. Create an environment that's less stressful for women. Women in their communities, they will see a change. You must have just got here. So let's go. Let me go back. I hate to be an ass about it, but let's go back because obviously we got Black Audacity. And sister, if you want the link, ask me. I damn sure will give you the link. So you won't have to type in the comments. Right? I welcome sisters. I'm going to be very respectful if you come up. Now watch this. Watch this sister right here. You tell me if this is a stressful environment that a black man created for her.
And was just 8 months into her fitness journey. But by then, the Atlanta 32-year-old was in a groove and there was no turning back. For almost 3 years, Johnson has been pushing herself to get as healthy and as strong as she possibly can be. The Fox Medical team's Beth Galvin is here to talk about what inspired her and what keeps her motivated. Beth, first of all, her transformation is amazing.
It is really amazing, and it's inspiring too, Christine.
You funny, Nicori. You want the link? Cool, great. Thank you. Thank you. I got somebody that's gonna come and make their point. So here we go. Here we go. So the link will be in the chat, guys. I know. Please, this her right now. I'm gonna let her click on the link and make her point. But let me finish this while you come up.
You know, she really set out as a single mom with a full-time job. Now she has a personal
Single mom, full-time job. So she got an ain't shit nigga that didn't want to marry her. Let's just assume. Treated her like shit, broke her heart. Right? But she's educated. Ain't black women the most educated? Let's keep going.
training business, and she found a way to tackle the biggest challenge of her life and talk to us about how she did it. When it comes to our bodies,
It's yours. You only get one.
Shamika Johnson has fallen in love with what hers can do.
I feel great. It's really cool to see what my body is able to accomplish.
And to understand what this 32-year-old Amazon PR manager has been able to accomplish, you need to see the pictures. Shamika's transformation began in the summer of 2019 with a scale at 326 pounds.
I took my son David on a trip to Disney World, and I noticed how tired I was just walking around the park. And it got me to thinking that maybe I needed to remove this barrier from our lives, which was my weight.
But first, Shamika says she needed to find her motivation to stay on track.
You can't stop. You can do it.
And not just for David, who was 5.
Just because you're tired doesn't mean you're going to quit.
But then also just really starting to fall in
She a single mom, right? Let's keep going.
love with the person that I saw in the mirror again, getting to know her a little bit better and the things that drives her.
Shamika settled on 2 goals: make better food choices and exercise every day. And at first,
I'll be honest, like I was working out really, really hard, but I was still really enjoying the foods that I like. It wasn't until I began to really change my nutrition and lean into what I was putting in my body. I call it body.
I wonder if a man has anything to do with her leaning into her nutrition, as she said, and watch what she put in her body. Let's go.
Fuel in my book, what fuels I was putting into my body, that things really started to shift.
she started with water.
I replaced all the drinks, juices, and sugary drinks with water. I was still eating what I wanted, but I was only drinking water. And then slowly started replacing like fried food with baked or grilled and making smarter nutrition choices along the way. That sped things up tremendously.
And she focused on 5 pounds at a time.
When I got on the scale and I started seeing that first 5, 10, and 15 pounds come off, that's when I got excited. I got motivated.
Running was another challenge.
I wasn't able to, jog for more than about 60 seconds without stopping, panting, out of breath. Taking morning runs through the neighborhood really helped me kind of get over that hurdle.
And she realized she had to stop fixating
Look at her back. Look at her back. Look at her. Where's the fat rolls? They gone, ain't they? She had fat rolls. They gone. She ain't got this big redunculous ass, but I promise you. Watch this.
On the scale.
I would jump up every morning just to see if the workout the day before worked. And I just didn't want to become a prisoner to the scale. So I began to track my measurements in other ways. How do I feel today? What's my endurance like after this workout? I have control over how I look. I have control over how I feel.
When she dropped the first 100 pounds,
I decided to write a book about my fitness journey for no other reason than to document what just happened to me. I felt like this was something different. So Inner Animal really.
Wait. Let me go back. So look at this. Two different women. This woman on the left is going to have a different dating life than the woman on the right. There's a girl on YouTube called Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. She, one word, black girl. She was big. That girl lost hundreds of pounds, just like her. And she was educated, got a nice degree, all that. And she said, she talked about her dating life. She said, man, when I lost the weight, dating changed. Men that knew me we were friends. Now they wanted to date me. Then they wanted to have sex. They wanted to they looked at me sexually when I lost the weight. So okay, what's up, Black Audacity? How you doing, sister? Hello, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just muting until you were ready.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you for bringing me up.
No problem.
So, no, it's not that I just want to start by saying it's not that I have an issue with Black women needing to lose weight, because we definitely do for the most part. My only issue was with the title that stated that there was no reason that Black women are overweight. And the thing is that stats are real, and we can't deny stats. And stats, just like stats for Black men, there are stats for Black women. There are stats for everyone in America. There are stats for everyone in the planet. So my only issue was that the title stated that there is no reason, and there is reasons why people are overweight. Now there's no reason to there's no reason to not get out there and try to lose the weight. But there are reasons that people are over. Just like there are reasons that there's
you chopping up. You kind of chopping up. You kind of chopping up when you talk.
Oh, can you hear me?
I hear you, but I heard most of what you said. I'm
sorry, because I'm in my car, and this Bluetooth keeps going in and out.
Okay, you good. You good. Let me say this. Hold on. Let me interact with you a little bit. So, all right. I don't know if you know about me. I'm a conservative, right? So
I know.
The way I look at
I listen to your channel.
Okay. So, and I've seen you in the comments. Thank you for watching. Let me say this right here. I don't make excuses for Black men, and I don't make excuses for education. I don't make excuses. I think the biggest reason that Black people are economically struggling is really, well, it's a few reasons, but I guess the biggest direct reason, because I could really say most of our problems stem from fathers not being in homes, but that's another video. What I'm talking about is the biggest problem that we have academically is our culture, where we don't study as hard. That is naturally our culture. We just don't spend that much time at night when we go home grabbing our books. That's not something Black people do, right?
Yeah, I saw a video that you put up with how little Black people read and things like that. It's in comparison to other races.
Thank you. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to African American women, right? I go to the gym. Like, I went to the gym on a Friday night. I saw two sisters in that whole gym. It was full of white women and Latin women, right? Now, Black women, for example, when we go to, for example, like when I say there's no excuse, if I take you, the average chick, to Walmart, we go to Walmart. I done dated plenty of women. We go to Walmart, where do they want to park? They'll ride around 5 minutes to find the closest parking space right up by the door. Me, I never do that. I go to Walmart, I pull my ass way out in the back. I never have parking problems. You know why? Even at the mall, I will park and walk all the way up. You know why? That actually gives me steps. It's called NEAT, N-E-A-T. I think that's how you spell it. But basically, those extra steps, going to the mall and walking, getting up out the bed this morning, instead of just laying there on a Saturday morning, you can get up, you can walk. Walking is easy. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost any money, right? You don't want to go to the gym. right? What you eat. This sister said she wanted to drink water. She stopped drinking Coca-Cola. She stopped doing whatever. I didn't stop drinking Coca-Cola. I tell you, I had 350 calories worth of Coca-Cola last night, but I know exactly how much I had in calories. I know how much my meal gave me in calories. I was under 1,000 calories for my whole meal last night, but I was full. You see what I'm saying? Because I found something and I keep eating it because I know it's low calories, but it's filling. And I eat that type of stuff. You have to make those choices. You have to be conscious about what you do. If you don't, and you got diabetes at 40 years old, it is your fault. Because everything that went in your body is something that you opened your mouth and you put in there. Now, I remember some years ago when that sister got cheated on, Leela Rashawn. Everybody said Leela Rashawn has thyroid issues. Y'all wrong for talking about her weight. And I said, I guarantee you, if you get Leela Rashawn to change her diet, start exercising, I guarantee you Leela Rashawn can lose weight even with thyroid issues. Most people, you're talking about a fraction of a percent of people in the world that have those issues. Most black women are overweight because a lot of them don't even think about it. They're not even thinking about that. And the benefit that black women can have from exercising and dating is like this. Let me share this picture again. This sister on this screen is like, I'm sorry, most men would be like, oh yeah, look who I got. Happy. She got abs, baby. Why don't you wear that outfit that show your style? I love that. That's sexy. Men like shit like that. I would give a woman way more props for having abs like that than a big round juicy ass. Now I'm an ass man. Don't get it twisted. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I would give a woman props because that's hard. That takes discipline. That takes focus. That is more attractive. Girls are like that at 17. Just about all of them are like that at 17. Guess what? By the time they 28, you didn't just get there in your sexual prime, in your physical prime by just, oh, I just got it. No, a lot of women eat whatever they want to eat at 17. It catches up with them in their late 20s after they pop a baby out or something. And so they don't practice that discipline. And so when they get with a man, try to take a woman, me being a man, loving to work out. Try to take a woman to the gym and get her ass to work out. Y'all gonna wind up arguing a lot of times because you would be better served just paying for a trainer for her to work out, because that trainer can talk to her and say stuff and she'll do what the trainer say. With you being her man, if you're trying to do it, a lot of times it'll be a source of friction in the relationship at first, because you don't care. It hurt. This is all I can do. All I can lift is 5 pounds. Like, you can lift way more than 5 pounds. Come on, man, grab these 15s. I can't do that. That hurts. I can't. And she'll be sore for days and she'll complain. And this is the thing. And so what happens is with a sister, you take them to I know this because I've been around the block a few times. You take the average sister to the gym, put her ass in some weights. She ain't coming back for about 2 weeks, at least. She is not going to come back. If you hit her ass with I'm talking about just squats, side straddle hops, burpees, and some damn, and just do some light weight work for about 15 minutes. That's it. Give her a little 30-minute workout. Her ass will be sore for weeks because she doesn't do it. Whose fault is that? The Bible says, you wicked, lazy servant. You could have at least put it in the bank and let it drew interest. Your body is the same way. God gives you one body. If I fall out from a heart attack because I'm fat and out of shape, that's because I was not a good steward of the body that God gave me. That's what I meant by this title. Now, what do you think of that?
No, I agree with, like I said, I agree with the majority of what you were saying. What you are saying. I'm a registered nurse, so I understand. I'm a registered nurse and I am married. So I'm not out there looking for relationship advice or anything like that. But I do study statistics, and I know that statistically, people who live in poverty have a higher chance of being overweight. Now, like you were saying, and I also believe in the Black community, it's a culture especially with the women, of being overweight and not really paying attention to their weight, not really thinking that it's an issue, and thinking that, I'm still getting men that will sleep with me, so it must not be a problem. So I believe that yes, it is something that does need to be addressed, like so many other issues within the Black community. But I know that statistically speaking, being overweight
But
is not.
you put the onus on Black men to make
No, I
Black
put
women.
the onus on Black men because I don't know where you live at. But I live
I'm in
right off.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay. So my husband is from Chicago. I'm from Milwaukee. Two very, very violent places.
Okay.
Me and my child and my husband, we don't live within the confines of Milwaukee. We live right on the outskirts, like in the suburbs. Now, but I know growing up in Milwaukee and him growing up in Chicago, stating especially the areas where it's predominantly Black, stating that, well, you can just go outside in the morning and walk. I'm not walking anywhere in Chicago where he grew up at because I've been in his old neighborhood, and I would not walk anywhere in Milwaukee where it's predominantly Black people. It's very, very violent, and that's where I put the onus on Black men. You can't have a community where it's severely violent just to be out. The homicide rate for Black women has went up 200% in Milwaukee in the last 2 years. You can't have a neighborhood and an environment where it's violent and say that, oh, you should just get up in the morning and walk. I wouldn't walk my dog.
Okay,
I
hold
wouldn't walk.
on. All right. So let's follow your logic. Okay, so Black
Mhm.
women, the block is out, right? You can't walk.
I'm
can
not
buy-
walking.
Okay, you can buy dumbbells. You can buy dumbbells. You can do P90X. You can do the one. What was the one with the gay guy that Sean T that did the 60 days?
I
The
know
60
what
day
you're
challenge.
talking about. I just can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, that guy, the Beachbody, because Beachbody had a lot of great home workout. And I'm gonna tell you something. I did P90X. Let me tell you something. That P90X was serious. Like I actually think that is by far the best home workout program I've ever seen in my life is P90X. And I personally vouch for P90X. When I was completely broke and they had no gym membership, I mean, when I was down and out, I did P90X. I made it my business. Now think about what I just said. I said I was broke with no car, suspended driver's license, and I still got me some dumbbells and some bands, some weight bands that you can put in the door and do little pull-up things because I couldn't do real pull-ups because I ain't had a pull-up thing. I found the little cheap weight bands at Walmart, got me some 25-pound dumbbells, and was doing squats, doing the plyometrics. I was doing everything that 40-some-year-old Black dude, I forgot his name, white dude that ran it. Man, we was in that mug humping. And I lost. Because I had gained weight. I had got up. That was as heavy as I ever been. I think I was 225, 230. For me, that's huge. Everybody, man, you done got big. But see, the way I'm built, I carry 230 and still look like I got abs. You'll still see 6-pack abs, and I'm 230 pounds. I actually did that. But I knew I was not healthy. I was big. I was working out, hitting the weights, but I was not. I was like, man, I need to do more cardio. I wasn't playing basketball. I didn't have no car. And I did P90X right there at my house. Lost tons of weight. Now, the one with the gay guy, Sean T, you don't even need no weights. You don't need nothing. Insanity. That's the name of it. Insanity. My boy did Insanity. Now, all throughout college, he was overweight. I saw that joker. He was ripped, chiseled. He just did Insanity twice. He went through and did Insanity 60 days, finished it, started over, did it again. 60 days. He said, man, I did 4 months. Said, bro, I done lost like 50 pounds. Chisel. I'm talking about ripped up abs, shoulders, back, everything was in shape. All of it was right done in the confines of his home. Listen, I'm not saying that. Look, is it fun? No, it's pain, damn it. It's pain. But safety, I agree with you. The Black man is the de facto leader of the Black community. So responsibility-wise, I'll blame the Black men for not doing what the fuck they supposed to do. You know me. If you watch my content, you know I'm like that.
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
I'm not one of those guys who's like, well, no, it's the Black woman, nigga. It ain't no. I'm sorry, I know I can't say nigga. You can't say that on my channel. People get mad. But the Black man is responsible. He is the de facto leader. It's like if you got a Walmart and it's running in shambles, and then you come in and say, well, who's the manager? Well, I'm the manager. And then you say, well, why this, why that? Well, the workers aren't doing. Nobody wants to hear that. Corporate does not want to hear when they come into the Walmart or whatever store it is, Best Buy, whatever. And the store manager is saying that he can't run his store because his well, terminate your employees and hire more. It's your fault. They see, so that's the thing. So I that being said, the same goes for women in their purview of their bodies. Let me tell you something. Half the women, and I'm not talking about you because I wasn't even talking about you individually. What I'm saying is half the women that I see complaining about men and not having men, a lot of these women are overweight. And this sister right here on the left, if you look at her, this will be a woman that'll complain. This would be a woman that got dudes offering to pay her rent. I'm just telling you what I know. Same chick though. This woman could break through in the dating market at a much higher caliber clip than the woman on the left. The woman on the left, she gonna date a factory worker. The woman on the right could fuck with a doctor. Same woman.
Yeah, I don't really correlate. I mean, not that I don't correlate, but I don't really like as far as being overweight and being thin. I know that it correlates with your ability to get a certain type of man or a certain type of woman. But I was just basically sticking to the fact that the title said that there was no reason for them to be overweight. I agree that
I still don't have excuses. I think your body, basically your God, your creator gave you your body. You are supposed to be a steward over what you put in your body. As a child, not as much. You probably have bad habits. But when you become an adult, that's like saying, you know what? I'm 50 years old. I got a 400 credit score because 25, 30 years ago when I was in high school, nobody taught me about credit. So here I am at 50 and I still don't understand credit.
No, but I mean, because I deal with patients and I deal with people. I mean, I'm a nurse, so a lot of the eating habits starts, especially in the Black community, is starting when they're a child. The only reason that they don't look as overweight and obese as a child because they're outside, their stamina is a lot higher, their metabolism is a lot faster. So if they've already been eating hot Doritos and ramen noodles as a child, then of course, like you said, by the time they're 28, that catches up to them because it's already those bad habits were already there. It just hadn't caught up to them. So it's not like this is something that just happened during their adulthood. This is something I deal with Black kids and their parents constantly. And the Black parents, people try to say that a lot of the stuff that goes on with Black kids, you can't blame the parents. Their parents are horrible. A lot of these Black parents are terrible. They come into the hospital, they are absolutely terrible. You can see where the kids got the behavior from. But what I'm saying is a lot of the eating habits already was implanted as a child with these kids. And it just so happened because they had a higher metabolism and they was running around at recess. They was more active riding a bike, doing whatever. It didn't catch up with them until they got older. The habit has already been there though. They didn't start eating McDonald's and
I mean, I don't disagree with nothing you just said. I think I'm from the hood. I actually was a terrible student, and it caught up with me when I got older, and I couldn't get scholarships. And because I didn't get a basketball scholarship, I had to kind of go and basically thank God somebody caught me in the gym. A coach saw me. I was able to be showcased and got a scholarship. If it wasn't for that, I'd have probably gotten a student loan debt. I would have been financially behind the 8 ball a lot more coming out of college. Whereas now, like I said, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, your parents didn't teach you certain things as a kid. As an adult, you are responsible for your body. And you can call me vain, but I wanted to model as a kid. I didn't have no way to go. I would go to the Fashion America, whatever, I forget what that thing used to come. They used to have these tours where they come around and you get the fashion contracts, you get the go-sees and stuff. And I would always get picked. But I would never go to the main thing because we didn't have the $400 for me to get signed up and go, right? And so what I did was when I got older, I worked, saved up $800, right? Flew my ass to New York because I actually went to one of those conventions, first. I went to one and I got about 3 or 4 callbacks. People called me, wanted me to do little small work here in Atlanta or something, but I wanted to go to do fashion shows and runway shows. So guess what? I worked out, I exercised, I saved my money, and I flew my ass to New York and I did a fashion week. I took responsibility for my own condition, my own situation. I wanted it. I put the work in and I did it. If a woman wants, and you saying you take no issue or you don't disagree with the whole correlation between looks, as far I ain't gonna say it's not even superficial. It's just health wise, our biological directive tells me the woman that I would like to have children with would be the woman on the right than the woman on the left, because I want to plant my seed in the most healthy, able-bodied woman I can find. That's how that works. That's really what that stems from. It's just now we you attach sex to it as well, but it ain't just about sex. Biologically, for us as men, the woman on the right, if shit get bad, I can trust her ass. She can run. She can get away from certain things. She's strong. She can pick up stuff. I can trust her to be strong and sturdy. You know what I'm saying? Even when she has my child, you know what I'm saying? She shows discipline. The woman on the left lacks discipline. The woman on the left, if something happened, would get ate up. If a monster was coming, if a dog, or not a dog, but in nature, whatever, right? So it depends. Biologically, we prefer the woman on the right. So it's not just sex. But that being said, in order for a woman to everything you're saying about the parents' upbringing, look, I wasn't taught about credit. I wasn't taught about, they didn't teach me about balancing it. I learned it in school, though. They taught us about balancing the checkbook in school. I didn't learn about, there's a lot of stuff I didn't learn about. Nobody taught me about tech. I did it on my own. Nobody taught me how to play basketball. My brother gave me a basketball and showed me a few things and said, if you want to be good, this is what you got to do. I
But
went
you
into
know what? Can I just, because I can only be on a couple more minutes because my husband waiting on me. But I just want to say about that, because I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they pretty much were saying something similar to you. And I would have possibly agreed with that years ago before I became a nurse and really started dealing with patients and dealing with people and dealing with the mindset. I work in behavioral health, detox. I work in home health care. I work a lot of different areas. But I would have agreed that, everybody has their own story, and they always go back to what they would have done. But I know just by working with people and by studying statistics that the world does not the world doesn't go like that. Like, I can say, I made it out of the hood, and I decided to be a nurse. But the majority of people who come up in impoverished situations, it's going to be a lot more who don't go on to do grandiose things and go on to be grand and do all these wonderful things. There's going to be a lot more people who still remain in poverty than there are going to be people who don't. Now, of course, we all have,
I disagree with that.
well, statistics agree with it.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
They don't.
statistically, if statistics, I read the whole Moynihan report, and it was something that was very interesting in there. There was a statement in there that said that Black children who grow up in a middle class family, because of because of segregation in America, and Black people mainly live around Black people. Now, of course, there's Black people who don't live around Black people, but Black people for the most part live in segregated areas around other Black people. In the Moynihan report, it stated that
So you're talking about the 60s to talk about today.
because it's almost nothing has changed for Black people since the 60s. It's hardly anything has changed as far as monetarily rise. Black people have not moved. The goalpost has barely moved for Black people as far as money.
Okay, so hold on. We're talking about health now. We're kind of
no. What I was gonna say,
messing it
because
with money now.
the only reason I just want to close this, because you were saying that you had found a way out, and I was saying that the majority of people who live in poverty within the Black community, I mean, it's not the majority, but at least it's a large percentage that are not going to go anywhere outside of their community. Black people are the least
15%.
I don't agree with that. You would have to pull that stat up for me.
Most
Black
of us,
people-
hold on. Let me ask you a question. Most of
Mhm.
us are from the hood. You from the hood? I bet
I am.
I'm from the hood. Just about every Black person on here from the hood.
Yep.
All 90%, 99% of us right now aren't in the hood. Are we gonna be rich and successful and millionaires?
90%, but 90% of who isn't in the hood? Because if that's the case, why some of the highest populations of Black people are in Chicago, and in Washington D.C., and those are the most violent places. So
When you're
who?
talking about violence, you can't.
Yeah,
We talking
that's
about
the hood.
talking. Well, hold on. You're talking about violence. Even in that, with Chicago, you're talking about 400 or 500 murders per year of a small swath of black people. There are 40 million black people in America. You know how many black folks? Hold on. You know how many black folks just in the state of Alabama? Just a state that don't nobody talk about. I'm from Alabama. It's like 2-3 million black people in Alabama. Right? We got poverty too. What I'm saying is, look, everybody that's stuck, the people you're describing, if I grow up in the hood, go to school, and stay in the hood till I'm 55, 60 years old, I made bad choices. Everybody that's stuck, if you stuck in the hood, my parents, the reason that we were poor when I was growing up and we didn't have a lot of money, my parents got divorced, my dad had construction, sometimes he'll make money, sometimes he wouldn't. But for the most part, I didn't have a lot of money. Guess what? The reason that my parents always told me, you going to school, you're going to get your education, you're not going to be like me, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You make choices. Everybody that's in the hood that's poor made a choice. They were in school, they had a free education just like everybody else, and they didn't use it. They did not maximize it. I didn't. The only reason that I made it and did the things I did was because of my parents and my older brothers and my older brother and my older sister being on my ass. Had I not had that, I would have been there. But guess what? Even if I would have been there, if I didn't have that, it still would have been my fault. It is my fault. It is not somebody else's fault if I'm poor. If I'm poor, it's because I chose to be. I did not maximize school. I did not. I got caught up with the prison system. I had kids out of wedlock. All of those are decisions.
No, I'm not saying that someone's own choice making doesn't play a part in it. What I'm saying is that a large percentage of black children who grow up within a confine of poverty and in the hood, as we are calling it, will remain in the hood as an adult. Now, is it their choice that they do that?
Yes.
You can say that is their choice, or you can just say that people who believe something is normal are going to continue doing what they think is normal. You saying that they have an education? Come on now. I don't know about Alabama.
You think people think it's normal
I
in
live
the hood?
in.
Hold
I
on.
live.
Hold on. You just made a point. You can keep talking. I just want to ask you a question. So you think people in Chicago? You from up there, right? You from Milwaukee? That's right out.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't from y'all like that's like Atlanta and Marietta for us.
Yeah,
right?
my husband is from Chicago.
Yeah, y'all right up on each other. So let me say this. Now, so you think people in Chicago or Milwaukee from the hood or whatever think it's normal to see their friends and family getting shot down in the streets?
It's not that. I think that they believe that it doesn't have to do specifically with the amount of violence. I think that those neighborhoods, they become familiar with it. They become comfortable with it. My husband's mother, we live in a house, and I bought a second house. It's outside of the hood. She said she don't want to live outside the hood. She said she liked the fact she can have her and her husband. They've been together 40 some years. She liked the fact she can have her firecrackers without white people calling the police on her. She liked the fact she can barbecue all day. Her and her husband can barbecue all the time. That a lot of the stuff that she feels comfortable with being around black people, she did not want to move out of that. It was comfortability for her.
Well, you do know there's places in the South where black people are doing well, and you can do the same thing. And it's
No,
nice.
but those black people are living amongst other black people.
There's
Again,
nothing wrong with that.
I'm saying in Milwaukee, the majority of the black neighborhoods are riddled with violence.
Well, but okay, I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you. What I'm saying
Just like Chicago.
Okay, I agree. Now, the majority of black people that are within those neighborhoods are riddled with violence. I'm telling you that there are majority black neighborhoods in the South where black people are well-to-do. They don't. Their kids go to school with black kids.
I agree with that, but I'm not from down south though.
Okay, I understand. I'm just explaining to you that that's not the norm, and the majority of black people live in the South, not in Chicago.
50% of the black people live in the South, so that means that another 50% don't.
Well, yeah, but when you say the South, now you know most of the people that lived through the Great Migration moved up to Chicago. I got family that moved to Detroit and came back to the South, and those numbers are changing now. So it's actually getting larger in the South More of them moving away from the Rust Belt up there, Pittsburgh. Black people are coming from up in those areas because the jobs are leaving as well. So the manufacturing, a lot of that's coming to the South. So a lot
Yeah,
of
you
black
got
people.
black people up here in Gary, Detroit, Chicago, Milwaukee. All these areas are known to be violent.
Yeah, Gary, Indiana is a city that's dying. A lot of those people are coming to the South.
No, I get it. I'm saying now it's changing, but I'm 40. So for years during my childhood and during my adulthood, it was the same thing. Like, and a lot of those people from Gary, Detroit, and Chicago started into Milwaukee and made Milwaukee violent because Milwaukee wasn't that violent when I
I
was.
think what you're doing is you're meshing violence with being able to work out.
Oh, I'm sorry because we went all off topic, but I just
Yeah,
because I
poverty.
want
You
to.
talking about poverty, and then you liken the violence and say, "Well, the violence stops people." That
No,
don't.
because you asked me why did I say that black men had something to do with it. That's the reason it went to that. The conversation went that direction.
Well, I don't argue that black men are supposed to be the de facto leaders of their community. What I'm saying is, black women are without excuse. Just like a person that went to school in half-ass and got D's and F's and barely passed and got a GED or flunk dropped out. Why are they in poverty? It's because of the system or because your ass got D's and F's and got a GED or dropped out of school? Who's at fault, right? If I go to the hood and you knock on just about most of the doors, it's either people like you said, like your husband's mother, who want to be there, or people who, although they may not want to be there, they made choices. My parents always, thank God they did that, they always told me, look, I dropped out, I did this, I did that, I messed up. My dad was supposed to be a lawyer. He went to Alabama State and quit. He didn't finish. Had he went to Alabama State and finished and got his degree and been a lawyer, my life might have been different. I might have not had to see the gas get cut off or the water we come home, we pulling up, damn notice on the front door. They done cut something off in the middle of the day. We don't even know mama cussing. She calling dad. We ain't got this, we ain't got that. Or dad struggling. I grew up seeing that. I got Christmas mornings waking up, didn't have shit. I actually saw a Christmas like that. Nothing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sub. I still don't agree that there's absolutely no reason for people to be overweight or for black women to be overweight. But I agree that we need to work on that, on getting our weight down and getting healthier. But I got to get going. But thank you for pulling me up.
Okay. Have a good one, sister.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Now let me say this, guys. Look, man, I don't believe there's a such thing as an excuse for black people. Period. Nowadays. I've mentioned the Moynihan Report. I'm for reparations, right? I love black people, right? And so I'll never just drag and say that it's all 100%, black people didn't have no, nothing happened to us. It's just black people are lazy. Now that's a lie. Are we lazy? Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, I would say that. But would I say that is the only reason why black people are where they are? Well, wait a minute. Now, if you go back to the 60s and they were creating suburbs and doing things like that, they decided not to, in writing, from the federal government, the state government, the local government, all of them, specifically created the suburbs. They would not let us go to the suburbs. They specifically said there's a no black policy. Like, we don't have black people in these neighborhoods. Then they sent all the best funding in the schools and the teachers out to these areas. And what happened is you do that for 2 generations. What happens after 2 generations of that? You got what you got, right? And yeah, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you where they fucked up at. That was the 60s. That was the 60s, the 50s. Today, I can move anywhere I want to move. I could do that in the 80s. You could do it in the 90s. You could do it in the early 2000s. You could do it it's been 40, 50 years now where black people could move wherever, do whatever. And I refuse to sit here and say that my people died, swung from trees, took rocks and hoses, walked miles, right? My mom and my dad literally would walk everywhere they went back in the 50s, man, in Montgomery, Alabama, bus boycott. If you were black and they caught your ass on the bus, they would stump your ass out. That's what my dad did. They jumped on a dude. Mama told me about that. Yeah, he went out there and jumped. Some dude grabbed, but they caught him on the bus and snatched his ass, stumped him right there in front of everybody. Right? That's how they stuck together back then. But the thing is, How long are we going to use excuses? So now it's branched over into weight. It's branched over into being obese. It's branched over into now I can't work out because of white supremacy. I'm fat because of Donald Trump. Remember that lady? Lady say she fat because Donald Trump made her fat. Let me find that clip. Like this. No, lady. No. Twinkies. McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Trump made me fat. Hey, now watch this. And I couldn't believe it. And I said, did this chick just say that Trump made her fat? I remember I saw that shit. I couldn't believe it. And people actually go to this lady and listen to her for political, commentary. And I'm like, this shit don't make no sense.
This obese woman is blaming her fatness. Was this big since the Ronald Reagan?
What public health practitioners think is that our stress responses in the body change our metabolism. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing.
So she's blaming.
So, and then this is a horrible. This brother, I mean, this dude could have at least got a better damn camera or someone just took a snippet of the damn thing. You know. Hold on, let me see if I can find something else. This, like this is the type of shit that we see in our community from our sisters. And they need to stop. This shit needs to be stopped and called out. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, guys. I'm only, damn, you can't even find that clip no more. And these news organizations are coming to YouTube and trying to take over, man. They taking over, bro. Like, and the YouTube algorithm lends to them coming and doing that shit, man. And they need to stop.
The racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
Yeah, your body knows that are Republicans in the White House. And so your body is going to metabolize food and fat slower than it will for the white woman. Let's go.
I hate when people talk about black women being obese. I hate it. We are living in the Trump era.
White people are racist. So
looking like Shamu, and you think I would sit there if I was white and listen to that? And this ain't even on some racist type, I hate niggers stuff. I'm black. I look, I just talked about how we should get reparations. But she full of shit. She is full of shit. Let's go.
I put this up because I really want any white person in the room to know up front that this is what we're dealing with.
Black women, when we do the same diets as white women, we lose less weight and we lose it slower. The racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
Why are you struggling to make ends meet? Could it be? And you're the most educated demographic in the whole country. So why are you struggling to make ends meet? Could it be that you chose a stupid ass major like childhood education or sociology or psychology or something like that? Is that it? And whose fault is that? Oh, you don't like math. Well, guess what? The highest paying fields are math and science, like STEM science, tech, the shit that you say is boring. That's the shit that pays the most. You choose not to do it. And so your ass gets overweight. That's how this shit works. Let's go.
That it's not going to be this coddling of white tears and what that looks like. We're not going to discuss, maybe some of us have worked it out. No, you're always going to be.
Her ass got her PayPal up there. Look at this shit. She has her PayPal up there. Send me some money, white folks, while I sit here and tell you ain't shit. Come on.
Racist, actually.
We're moving, we're taking care of kids, but our food quality suffers. And look, those policies kill our people. You can't get access to good health care, good insurance.
So even when you're on your path to trying to figure out how to be a better human.
Guys, I'm gonna go out on a limb. Everybody can get their access to. Just about 99% of people can get their access to health. This before Obama said what he said, did what he did. Before Obamacare, you could get access to health care. That is a lie. You could get it. You can get access to health care. That is a lie. I got class in a few. I'm going to put the link up here. Hold on. I'm going to go ahead. Somebody asked me about a call-in. I don't have no call-in number. I'll let you get up, but It's gonna be a minute because I got a few things to get off my chest. But I'll let somebody come in. Y'all want to come? Hit the link right here. Let's keep it going.
Because I believe that white people are born into not being human. Like that actually, instead of people of color and black folks.
Only at a college or university would white people sit there and listen to some stuff like that. You're not human, white people, and you're not a human being, and you're not, you're just a piece of shit. Like
being dehumanized, that actually everyone is dehumanized off rip within white supremacy.
I feel like when I think about the trauma that Black men have gone through, along with the trauma that a Black woman has gone through, we're able to heal each other because we know each other's pain.
That y'all are born into a life to not be human, and that's what y'all are taught to do, to be demons. So in this particular way, white people are all racist.
We know our ancestors' pain. Black men need a Black woman, and Black women need a Black man to help us be better. And because we know each other.
It's really important for us to know that we have the power to choose how we see ourselves.
Sure.
We will be fortified.
I ain't gonna even sit here and listen to all that. That was it. I just wanted to show y'all Black woman. There's no excuse. This sister took her destiny in her own hands. She worked out, she exercised, and now she's hot. It's real simple. Right? And because you're hot, now you can date a doctor. Now you can date that high value man. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, right? Rest in peace, right? You can date that brother that's a doctor. You could date that brother that's a lawyer. You could date that brother that got the money, that feels like it's only a certain caliber that he wants to date. And quite contrary to popular belief, I seen lawyers and doctors date the woman on the left. Not every lawyer and doctor's dating dimes. I know that's what they say on the internet, but that's the internet. In real life, it doesn't work like that. In real life, they date who they can date, right? And a lot of times that'll be just a regular average woman because it's an average brother. And when a woman meets you, she doesn't know you're a doctor unless you're going around, hey, I'm a doctor, I'm a doctor, I'm a doctor, I'm a doctor. You know what I'm saying? What we got? I'm killing you with the Black people-ish. Black men run infrastructures and communities, and the women follow along and rear their children. Okay. All right. I don't know what you mean by that. But all right. Let's keep going.
So Inner Animal really talks about how I was able to tap in to my internal motivation that helped push me through my fitness journey.
You know, Shamika has lost 150 pounds.
Look at him, man. Look at him.
And she's now a personal trainer. And David is 8.
I've literally transformed before his eyes. And it's so funny because I showed him a picture of me from 2019 the other day. And he was like, who's that? And I'm like, are you kidding me? He barely recognized me.
And Shamika Johnson now feels like she is in control of her story.
And it all starts with a decision one day, whether it's in the middle of a theme park or just sitting at your home. You can wait.
She made her mind up, man. She made her mind up. And she lost the weight. Watch this, sister. Watch this. This is another one. Now, this, I wouldn't even get this sister what, about a 5? I say she's about a 5. Now, watch this. Watch what happened. This is what happened when you lose weight.
How did I go from this to this?
What happened? Look at that.
I'm living in my own world.
Right?
How did I go from this to this?
Took her a couple of weeks, that probably maybe a month and a half. She didn't have that much to lose. But y'all see what I'm saying? Like, it's just too many women out here talking about the success and losing weight. And it ain't got nothing to do with that. You know, she ain't really got no pictures up here. So, you know, when you make videos like that, it'd be good to make pictures. This is another one right here.
Frank.
I mean, come on. She was big, overweight. Now she done upgraded, man. I mean, this looks like an Instagram model now. Now she went from looking average. Look at that. She went from this to this. What you got, CG? What's up, man?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hate.
Yeah. Hey, so I agree with everything that you're saying in terms of, weight. But I guess when you were speaking on the financial part and as far as reparations, I know you said that you agree that we all should get reparations. I just think it's a little different in terms of black people being able to survive or elevate just as much as white people in some cases. The reason I'm saying that is because poverty always changes every year of what's considered poverty, and especially changes depending on the region that you're at. So let's say, like you, I live in Atlanta too, but before I lived in Atlanta, I lived inside the DMV area, the District of Columbia and Virginia, Maryland. Now, poverty inside the DMV area, you can make a lot more money and still be considered living inside poverty there. So I just think we have to be careful when we talk about, people getting out of poverty. I think that we can. I just think it's difficult depending on where you live.
No, it's
and
not.
It also changes. Poverty just every year.
It's not difficult. It's not difficult. It's just, what is it, like 3 things you have to do to not be in poverty? Don't go to jail, graduate high school, get married, and you have a 98% chance of not living in poverty. People go in and out of being wealthy or millionaires to being not millionaires. People go in and out of poverty. I was below poverty before. You talking to one, came out. I grew up pretty much. Would I say maybe some years I probably was below poverty growing up. Some years I wasn't. I'm not saying that, and I'm not arguing with anything you're saying as far as that there aren't things. There's a quality of life, but guess what? It's easier to get a $70,000 job in California than it is in Alabama, right? But $70,000 in California is like $25,000-$30,000 in Montgomery, Alabama, right? I can get a $400 a month 1-bedroom apartment in Montgomery. I mean, right now, I don't know about now. I know it was $360 last I checked. I'm assuming it went up $40, $50. Maybe let's say $500 a month. You can get a 1-bedroom apartment by yourself. Is that guy right there living in that $500 a month apartment is probably not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like it's relative. The same amount of effort that it takes a guy in California is the same amount of effort it's gonna take a guy in Alabama. You know why? It's relative. Rent is gonna be $2,000 in California, whereas rent in Alabama might be $1,000. They both got to still take the same amount of hours, same amount of time, except the guy in California is making $35 an hour. The guy in Montgomery is making $15 an hour. They still got to work the same amount of time, the same amount of effort to get out of poverty. Those are statistics. A lot of people, and I like statistics, but what I don't want to do is think that we're trapped. There is no trap in poverty. You don't have to. Most black people come out of poverty. Most middle class and upper middle class and upper class black people come from poverty. Just about everybody I know, pretty much everybody I know, once you get up and become an adult, get a job, your ass gonna make more than $15,000, $20,000 a year. In order to make $15,000 to $20,000 a year in your mid-30s and 40s, you've been locked up for the last 20-something years. That's the only way I see a person being trapped into poverty. I mean, they get out, but they made a choice. They did something when they were younger and they got trapped in poverty. Whereas that older person, that person like you saying the people in DC, for example, the people in DC, I've been to DC, right? Or let's talk about The Wire, right? Like that area, right? That I think it was Rayful Edmond III or whoever that was based on. That whole little situation with The Wire. You look at how that was set up. That was the same way it was in Alabama. It just wasn't, it's people think their ghettos are different. They're not. In the South, it's like that. One city people probably would never think to even look at like that would be Selma, Alabama. You wouldn't think Selma is hood as hell, but you can get killed in Selma. Selma ain't a place you want to play around. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people, Selma, the Edmund Pettus Bridge, Selma, Alabama, is hood than a month. You can get your ass killed in Selma. You know what I'm saying? We all have struggles, man. I'm not saying that black people don't have chances to put themselves in a better predicament in life, but everybody go to school for free pretty much, outside of paying your property taxes, which if you pay rent or whatever, you're going to pay that. You can't get away from that. Once you go to school, you have a chance. You go to school, get your work. If you get your work from 9th to 12th grade and you get, let's just say, a B average, you got a chance of getting just a decent, I don't give a damn if it's just a community college. You can get a scholarship. If you can get a scholarship and you go and you work and you put an hour, I'm not even going to say 2 hours, just an hour a day, your ass will graduate and be able to get into a upper middle class lifestyle, making $65,000, bar none. That's not exceptional what I just said. That's any black person. I don't care how smart you are, how dumb you are. If you just put an hour, unless you just mentally like challenge, like me, like, no disrespect. If you got like mental, what do you call it? Learning disability. Unless you got a learning disability and you can study for an hour and you only get as if you studied 10 minutes or something, that's different. But for the overwhelming majority of black people, if you just put an hour, half of what your Asian counterparts, don't work as hard as Asians. Work as hard as the white man. He working twice as hard as black people are. Like, these are things that if I'm going to talk about poverty, I got to take that into account, because I'm looking at the whole picture. I'm not looking at a fraction of it. I'm looking at the whole picture. What you do and what the system is and everything. My approach took everything. I took racism. I took Jim Crow. I took Fannie Mae and Freddie. I took the sundown towns. I take all that into account. And I say, damn it, you owe black people. I don't give a damn if every black person is a multimillionaire. You owe reparations, because that's right. That's the right thing to do. I also take into account that our ass ain't working and doing the shit we supposed to do, because if I'm going to sit here and say, well, we haven't moved since the 1950s, I also got to sit here and say that they still swinging niggas from trees, and we know they ain't. Not like that. We got to sit here and say that you can bump into a white man, he say something, you can cuss his ass out, and you ain't got to worry about the sheriff showing up and they being a crowd and they drag you out and cut your dick off in the whole crowd and hang you and burn you by a fire. They don't do that shit no more. They used to, which is why I believe in reparations. But it's not like that no more. We got to tell the truth. Culturally, because of what's been done in this country, we've adopted certain habits, which is called redneck culture. And that redneck culture hurts and harms black people. And we got to take culpability and accept culpability and say, man, I'm finna reverse this. This is a generational thing. I'm going to reverse this. I'm not going to be that guy that made those errors that my forefathers made. I'm going to be the guy that make the right choices in life and do the things that I need to do. I'm going to not have kids out of wedlock. I'm not going to sell drugs. I'm going to go to school. Yeah, I'm going to wear $50 and $60 tennis shoes to school. Kids are going to laugh at me, right? Just like most of us. I'm not going to try. Most parents will get their kids some nice shoes and clothes if they can. And I'm going to do my work, and I'm going to take my ass to school. I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to do what I got to do. And it ain't got to just be college. I'm going to get a trade or a skill. If it's driving trucks, if it's being an electrician, a plumber, and shit. By the time you 22 years old, your ass got your own plumbing company. You got your own electrician company. You wiring up houses. You running plumbing for houses. You doing, and now you making thousands of dollars. You got a guy that did septic tanks. This guy's a multi-millionaire, and he does septic tanks. He got out of the military. Didn't like it, just took the job to pay bills, got some certifications, learned how to do it, and now he makes millions doing septic tanks. And he's passionate about septic tanks. That's the thing. I want black people to get their fair treatment for what's been done to us. But we can't waddle in self-pity and say that, well, he is in the hood, and the hood is going to suck him in, and the ghetto won't let him go. And no, the ghetto going to hold you and suck you in like Carlito. Carlito was running with the, if you watch Carlito's way, Carlito made some mistakes. He just did. Once he got out of that situation with the judge, he started doing some stuff. He tried to do the street shit, but he wanted to try to do it half-ass and wound up losing his life. Now, if you ain't gonna, like, you need to leave this street shit completely alone. He didn't. So he died in the end. Black people, you gotta take responsibility for not studying but 30 minutes a night. That shit hurt. You think, look, I don't care how smart you are. We can be brilliant. If you study 30 minutes a night, that white boy that you might be more smart than, more intelligent, quicker, faster, that white boy's gonna beat you in life because he studies an hour. He works twice as hard as you, and he white, which means when he walks in a bank, he doesn't have the baggage that me and you got. We got baggage because of the shit, from all the shit you see on the news and the violence and the history. Some of that shit being true, some of it is just being human nature. People are gonna associate me with the motherfuckers they see on the 6 o'clock news because I got on a basketball shirt, I got on a t-shirt and some shorts. So that's all I'm saying, CG.
Yeah, I hear you. I just think when we start talking about poverty, it's probably sometimes best to define exactly what poverty is. Because poverty, let's say poverty in the 50s, and this when people say we haven't moved an inch. So poverty in the 50s probably was black people making, let's say, I don't know, $5 an hour. But now poverty is considered somebody's making $13 an hour, depending on where you live. And so let's say 20 years from now, poverty could be making $60,000 a year.
Why do black people politically concern themselves with the floor? That's the floor, what you just talked about. $13, $15 is the floor. Why is it black people politically, and in all we do, we focus on the bare minimum? Why not? Okay, what do I need to do to make $100 an hour? Why does a iPad developer make $100 an hour, and how can I go buy a book at the bookstore and sit? You ain't even got to buy it. Just walk in there, sit your ass down and read it, right? And there you go. Go download the shit they tell you to download, and you can be coding iPad. But do we do that? No, we don't.
Well, not to cut you off, but you're talking about individuals. You're going to always have some black people that are exceptional that go on to do these things and do even greater things. But I'm talking about as far as the masses moving. The reason the masses of black people would never be at the same rate as the level of white people, because of white people already have this head start. So let's say, giving you an example. Let's say, okay, you have $5, I have $0. And then all of a sudden now I work my way to get $1 and you get another $1. You got $6, I got $1, but you still $5 in front of me.
Hold on. So you give white folk way too much credit, brother.
I'm not giving them credit. What I'm doing is,
you sound just like Home Team History. But go ahead. You sound just like him.
No. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking.
No, brother. That's what I'm saying. The numbers are that black people are way behind. They got a 400-year head start on black folks. I agree with you. That we ain't got to argue about that. What I'm telling you is, you saying the individual is the problem, because that is just one individual. Well, you did that, but the collective of black people, now you got to get into the collective culture of black people as to why. I'm going to make this decree. If black people studied like Asians, in one generation, they'll erase that wealth gap.
Not true.
Why wouldn't that be? Because hold on. Now, I love this. Now, why would that not be true, brother? If you telling me that black people study 2 hours a night, either black people are inferior, which I know you don't believe that. Either we're inferior, or if we study, that means we're gonna be the best in this country. We would be better than the Asians if we studied 2 hours a night. We would kick their asses. So you're telling me that the best coders, the best developers, the best engineers, all of the Harvard Ivy League school, it will be overrun with black African Americans, and you're telling me that wouldn't happen?
No, see, what I'm speaking on is in terms of net worth. If a white kid,
how do you increase your net worth?
How do I increase my net worth?
First, hold on. I start with a skill, ain't got no money. Let's say I'm in debt, $100,000. How does that person get a net worth of $1 million? First, they're going to need tax returns. They're going to need a skill. They're going to need a job. They're going to need tax returns, because ain't you going to just walk in the bank with no job and just get $1 million, get $400,000 to start a business. You need revenue. That's what I'm saying. human capital. And you see this with countries. It's the same with individuals. It's the same with the black community. We have the lowest human capital. Human capital means that you have a trade or a skill, thereby where someone would have to pay you and reward you for that skill. Because black people have the lowest human capital, we have the lowest income. And because you have the lowest income, you have the lowest tax returns, and you can't get the loans, you can't get the businesses. But a lot of this can be changed with culture. But you can't just overlook that.
I'm not overlooking that. I think what you're overlooking is the compound interest part of it. So if somebody else have $100,000 and that money is invested in the stock market, and that compound interest in 20 years is gonna outrun my $0. Even if I get $100,000 the next year, they already got a head run with compound interest, and that's the thing.
Hold on. What percentage of millionaires in this country are first generation? Like, they weren't given their wealth. How many people have been given their wealth from their parents, inherited it? Because that's what you're talking about. You're talking as if people is just inheriting slave wealth. All white people are just inheriting slave wealth. What percentage just inherited their wealth? What percentage got invested in a 401k? You know the number. You know exactly how much, right? You know most people invested and generated their wealth from starting a job, working, investing in their 401k. And if you look culturally at black people, and you give a black man a job, a white man, an Indian, and a Hispanic, that black man is going to invest at the bare minimum in his 401k with that compounding interest. Whereas that white man, it ain't like all white people just got every white person you see got $1 million. No, they get these jobs, they get them out of college, they go hard with their 401k. Black people tend to invest the least amount. It doesn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt them to put the money in there. Therein, we're talking about culture again. Because I remember when, what's his face, Dr. Sandy Darity with, what's that guy name? Tone Talks. I went and read that article, and I went and looked that stuff up. And I went and looked, and I saw that black people invest the least amount. You give a black man a $100,000 job, and the company said they'll match 401k up to 6%. He ain't doing that. He ain't going to do 1%. Whereas the white man is going to invest the most. The Asian is going to invest the most. And by the time he's 40, the white man, a lot of times, a lot of them will be millionaires. By the time they 48, 49 years old, whereas the black man won't be. But it won't be because, what it won't be is because he got it from slavery or Jim Crow. It was because the black man has time that he didn't take advantage of. An 18-year-old right now, if he get a job, I ain't gonna say 18, let's say 23, 24, just getting out of college. My niece just graduated yesterday. She get out of college, she go get a job working at a company, and she making X amount of dollars, right? That's what happened to my other niece. She investing heavy in her 401k. She works for Microsoft. She just like them, because my brother groomed her to be, right? She got just as much as her white counterparts. She invested in her 401k. She doing whatever. She got a lot of money in her 401k. She ain't even 30 years old yet. Whose fault is that? Did she make bad choices or she made good choices? Every black person can be there in one generation. I just made a point. I said, I'm going to have to come back out the class. We might talk, I'm going to be on the road, but we'll talk about that. But the point I'm trying to make is this. If a person, if black people culturally just were to study 2 hours a night like the Asians, black people would instantly be able to matriculate into the best universities, get the best jobs. You would listen. We would have been there when Amazon was getting started. I don't know how old you are. We would have been there during the dot-com craze when all these multimillionaires were created. That happens all the time. It used to be the Wild Wild West, not the Wild Wild West. It was the gold rush of 18 whatever. It's certain times in history, and not right now it's the crypto market, where if you're there early in the infancy of a market, it's going to create tons of millionaires, right? And black people right now, NFTs, all this different stuff, you can learn that. You can code that shit. You can learn it. But guess who's doing it? Because they are in that coding space more than we are. Whites, Asians, Indians. Guess what's going to happen? That's why right now, if you go look at the richest, wealthiest nations in the world, I mean, the businesses, capitalizations, highest. It's all a bunch of Silicon, I ain't gonna say all, but mostly Silicon Valley companies are the ones that are at the top. Why? These are companies that were 25, 30 years ago weren't even around or were in their infancy. Amazon was about to go bankrupt 5 or 6 times. Now look at Amazon. Could I have been there at the very founding when Jeff Bezos, when they was first doing it, when Steve Wozniak and all of them were doing Apple and building Windows and building the operating system, doing the stuff that they had to do. You know what I found really interesting? Had you been a secretary there, had you just worked there under Steve Jobs, under Bill Gates, you would have got stock options. My brother got stock options a couple of times in a couple of companies he's worked for. When you get stock options in a company and they fuck around and go public, what if you'd have been at PayPal? But guess what the gatekeeper was to get into PayPal? You had to have been, did you get a master's degree in computer science from Stanford? No. Most why? Because blacks don't like math. Why? Blacks do 30 minutes a night of homework. That hinders black people from being able to be in these spaces. This is a culture problem. Just like I said, the wealth, the compounding interest, most white people are living paycheck to paycheck too. You got white people that, and then also when you look at the averages, what you're taking into account, and I hate to be like this because I'm not a socialist, but what you're taking into account is they're taking Ken Griffin, they're taking these ultra wealthy Jeff Bezos, and they're putting that in the wealth of the 4 or 5 families that they say got more wealth than them. You take those people out, you take that ultra wealthy Deca, super Deca millionaires out, you take those guys out and take the average white person, they slightly ahead of us. They own their house probably.
That's actually not true. I'm talking about the median. If you take the median white family, and the median black family, the median white family is light years ahead of us in terms of wealth.
20 times the wealth. They got 20 times the wealth, but they're including the wealthy, bro. They are.
No. Median it means doesn't include the wealthy. I'm not talking about average. Average includes the wealthy. The median family is just a regular family, middle.
They got an average net worth of $100,000, and you telling me that if black people studied 2 hours a day, got high paying jobs, high tax returns, that they wouldn't be able to own a house?
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying that.
Are you saying that these white people, what advantage do they have if the average white person has a home net worth, have a net worth of $110,000, $120,000, whereas the average black person, the family car, we know the $4,000, $3,000, for some people say $1,100, right? But what that includes, you're talking about 90% of that is either 401k or houses. We're not talking about inherited wealth, brother. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but 401k in housing, that's wealth. And only thing I'm saying is that if you take that same middle class, median white person, if you take that same median black person, and both of them hit their books, both of them earn $100,000 salary, that median white
hold on. First of all, most of us don't earn $100,000. Most of us, you'd be hard pressed to find black people earn it. It ain't that many black people making over $100,000. That's number one.
No.
Hold on. But secondly, if they get all things being equal, if they do, culturally, that person is, look, man, I work in this IT field, and if I'm a black man and my company matches 401k and I choose to opt out of it, that doesn't mean systemic oppression. That doesn't mean anything. That means I didn't invest. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that I'm being held back.
Who's talking about opting out? I'm not talking about opting out of 401k. I'm saying if you choose to do the 401k, just like other races, I'm saying that the person who's already ahead of you, they're gonna stay ahead of you.
Now I agree with that person that's ahead of me is ahead of me. True. Okay, now that I said that. I guess that's what you wanted to hear. Now, are you saying that they're going to inherit wealth? Because what percentage? You never answered that question, brother. So what you're saying is all white people just inherit wealth from their parents, millions of dollars of wealth. That's when white people die, they leave millions of dollars in white people. If that were the case, then the statistic that I gave earlier, and you know this to be true, we're talking about 15%. The other 85% of white people that have reached $1 million net worth reached it in their lifetime, starting from had started with less than $10,000. I'm telling you, brother.
I'm not talking about the exceptional. You start talking about millionaires. You're talking about not the norm. I'm talking
We're
about
talking about wealth. We're talking about wealth, period. And then what we're talking about, brother, look, listen, let me tell you this. You agree. I agree. Let me say this. Black people, shoot yourselves, man. It's no way you'll never be able to accumulate wealth and power, ever. The white man is undefeated. He is God. He is going to be omnipresent, omnipowerful, and everywhere at the same time. Nothing you could do to stop him. They can't lose. The white boy you see in the trailer park is going to always win because the white man got everything and you can't win. And every time a black person get a chance that they want to try to, if I tell you, hey man, you can invest, you can do this, you can get better paying jobs. None of that shit going to work. It's going to always be that the white man got a 450, 500 year head start. In 10,000 years from now, the white man is going to keep kicking your ass because of this 400 year head start that we think is insurmountable. That the white man is all powerful and almighty. He can't lose to nobody. But we see the white man get his ass handed to him by the Asians and other races all the time. But the black man can't do it, though. The black man is not able to do that. He's too stupid. We too slow to do it, right?
No.
Every time I give an excuse, you're telling me it's going to always be a reason why the white man going to always win. I'm saying, no, man, that's not true, bro. You could do this. Well, that's an individual, but collectively. And then when I start talking about, but we tend not to do this. We tend not to do that. You think that they ain't got nothing to do with it. We tend not to study. So that has no effect on us. We tend not to invest in our 401k. That has no effect. We tend not to do a lot of different things. We tend to have worse credit. That has no effect on buying a house. None of that has anything to do with it. They got a 400-year head start. Most white people are broke. I could go through article after article of white people not having this wealth like you think they do. And I'm telling you, you can do it. You can, at least as an individual. Are all black people going to make that choice? That's really the question we're asking. No, they're not, because most of them think like that, what you're talking about, that they think it's insurmountable, and the man designed the system for them to fail. So what do? They choose to fail. They choose to fuck up their credit. They choose not to get a talent or a skill. They choose to fail out of school because they think it's designed for them to fail, so they fail to help the system work like they wanted to, right? It's designed for you to fail, so fail.
No, you're misinterpreting what I'm saying.
I'm not misinterpreting, brother. Go ahead.
Let's be clear. I agree with you 100% that if black people continue to, if they start investing, if they hit their books, I agree with you that black people will advance. You're talking to somebody who tries to put my whole family and all my friends on investing because I know the power of it. So yes, I do agree with you that black people will advance. Only thing I disagree with you on was I'm just saying that if you take the median black family and the median white family, and if all things are the same, I'm just saying that the median black family will not catch that white family, provide all things. That's what I'm saying. Everything that you're saying about black people.
Hold on. I don't want to argue with nothing you saying right there. If you take a black family and they do the exact same thing as a white family, and that white family has $100,000 net worth, and that black family has a $1,100 net worth, and they both making $70,000, and they both, now this isn't in a vacuum. This is just, it doesn't work like that. But let's just say that it just so happens to fall that way. Then yeah, that other person got $100,000 head start. But compounding interest on 100,000 versus 1,100, yeah, they ahead. Now, is that going to be the case? Are white people, because we've heard these statistics 10, 15, 20 years ago, they were saying they had 100,000. They was, in fact, actually what a lot of people don't realize, in 2005, black people cut that down to 1/8. It wasn't 1/22nd. 1/22nd of it. We actually spiked. You didn't hear a lot of articles about that. But before the housing bubble happened in 2005, when George Bush was president, the actual average, we went up to 1/8. This was when we reached the height of black ownership of homes. We actually cut into that. And then it dropped back down when the housing bubble happened. But it was interesting how we was able to catch up that much, wasn't it? Because you never hear articles about that. I can read it to you. I can send you the information if you want to see it. We actually cut into that net worth. Is as much as people want to talk about compounding interest and all this, how were black people able to go into make it only about 1/8 instead of 1/22nd, which is what we hear. We always hear about the 1/22nd, but we don't hear about the time when we went up in 2005 at an all-time high for black home ownership, right? And then it went down. So it's not constant. Can we do it? Yes. If you ask me, if black people, if you telling me if I had a magic wand and I can change the culture of black people, could we pass them economically? Yes, because we saw some people do it called the Jews. We saw some people do it called the Indians. We see some people do it Japanese. When they you go back 100 years in this country, white people were at the top economically in every metric. And Asians, a lot of them were in the ghetto. A lot of them were in these situations, and they leapfrogged them. What did they do? And that's the key. I got 10 seconds. That's that clicker, bro. Look, I enjoyed this, bro. We're going to have to finish this one. We got to keep going, bro. This is a 10. Hey, we only got 6 rounds in, fam.
Yeah. Hey, for sure. But hey, so I'm down here inside this basement working out like you was talking about, bro.
Hey, man. Hey, we got to finish. That was a heavy. I enjoyed that, bro. I don't get to go at it like that. I enjoyed that. That was fun, man. I enjoyed it, bro. You brought some good points out. I enjoyed it. God bless you. My students waiting on me. I got class. Y'all have a blessed day. I will see y'all. Thanks, brother. Keep coming back, bro.
No problem. Talk to you later.
All right.